Hi, my name is Christian. I've been in business for almost 12 years. And while I'm saying that, I'm smiling because I couldn't be more happy because I love the idea of what I'm going to do on this very channel. And this is a raw format channel. I've been in business for 12 years. I made millions. I lost millions. But even more important, 1 year ago, I decided to create a personal brand. Personal brand because, first of all, I was afraid to speak English, especially in my late 20s. And I was afraid to speak in front of a camera. And I realized that, in my opinion, I achieved everything in the online world. No, sorry, in the offline world, in the offline business space. And it was time to move on to the next challenge online. So I started to do that. And I love the idea to use this channel, even if this is not watched by anyone. It is my way to create an output and to reflect what I am doing. Maybe my kids are going to see that one day. Maybe someone else is going to see that and feels motivated by what I do. I'm not going, I'm even not going to tell it to my creative director, because I have an entire team running my personal brand, videographer, creative director, everything. We even have a PA that's taking care of the team, obviously, beside all the other companies that I'm doing. And let me tell you one thing, whatever you do in life, or whatever you do in business, you never will achieve the feeling of being happy. You are happy for a moment, but happiness is fleeting. And while talking about it, I realize how happy I am to do that because I love creating the personal brand. I love what we do. I love that I have ambitious goals and I know where I would like to be in the future. But sometimes online, I feel like everything is so perfect, so staged. But my life is not perfect. Neither is the process of building a personal brand. It is not. Even today, I realize that we are still not as good in the game as I want to be. And this is because of me. It's always because of me. It should be always because of you. Because if you see the mistake by yourself, you at least can change it, right? So I'm not even sure what this account will be about, but I love the fact that I can just talk from the top of my head about what I think is important to share, because this is what I guess YouTube was for in the early days. And I like the fact that, to be honest, I started the personal brand because one day my kids are going to be old enough to see what I did and what I created. And at one point in business, you realize that it is not about the money. I guess this is once you realize that money itself doesn't make you happy, you're going to see that the next goal you're going to chase is to try to repeat the success that you had before, but with something else. So making money in itself is not fulfilling anymore. Now it needs to be with something else. And best case, you feel passionate about it, right? That's at least our approach to it. But it's good because it keeps you going. And it should be like that, especially as a man. And I'm just saying that because I am a man and I don't know how it is to be a woman. And I have so much respect for every woman on the surface of the earth because all of us do have different challenges, right? And I believe that men always try to accomplish more and more and more and somehow think that by taking the responsibility, they fulfill their role. And I, by myself, I count myself to the same type of person. I love taking accountability for everything. And I strongly believe that, first of all the women I know, they take responsibility as well. And somehow we think that as a man, we still struggle a different battle, so to say. But at the end of the day, and that's what I strongly believe, at the end of the day, inside of your head, doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, or whatever, struggle always feels the same. It leads to frustration, being frustrated about yourself. And my idea is, and my mission is to help people understand themselves better. I invented something that I call human dynamics frameworks. Sorry, framework. You see, I can even say something and it will be part of the video because I'm not going to cut this video. This channel will be forever raw. I don't care. I don't care. And oh my God, I feel so good about it. I don't know when I felt like this the last time, you know? And to give you some context, my first year in business, when I started my first business, I was 25 and I started as a software developer. But it was actually not my first business because with 16, I created my first company to make or to create websites for sports clubs. And I got addicted to it, to the feeling of being in control about an outcome. And software development in itself gave me the opportunity and the outlet to have an everyday challenge, but also to get better in something that was very binary in the way I did it because software either works or it doesn't. There is no in between. It's just one or zero. And I, probably like you, had a not a tough time in life. I wouldn't say that. But there's a point in everyone's life where you realize that you are what you think you are. And if you don't challenge that, you just accept what you think you are. And I'm almost getting scared if I think about the fact that in another parallel universe, I accepted something about myself that I'm not. And it's your duty to get to the best possible version of yourself in this lifetime. And I'm not saying that from a standpoint of being shredded, rich, whatever. No. Best version in a way that you feel like you are aligned to what you truly believe is the right way to act in life because everything comes back to who you are, defined by your core values. And the easiest way to don't feel content is to act against your core values because everything you do is a reflection of that. There are only two things that you can control that are inside of yourself, and this is the level of self honesty and the level of self accountability. People sometimes argue that you can control your thoughts and your mind. I don't think that's the truth. I think you can get a moment, a fleeting moment of control of your thoughts. But it's asinine to think that by a 24-hour, or let's say during the time when you are awake, are able to take control fully about what you think and what you do. But again, the mind is a miracle, but also I like it because once you realize the power of your mind, and especially power of yourself on the way you create reality, there is magic in it. And let me tell you one thing. Life was very hard. Or let me rephrase that. The development of my identity lately in the last 3 years was very hard, but also very beautiful in the same time. It's almost like the superposition in quantum mechanics. It was both at the same time until the moment of measurement. And I realized that nothing is as bad as you think it is, as long as there is hope, as long as there is direction, right? And we get tempted, especially online on social media, to think that it should be easy to know the next step. And it should be easy to know exactly what to do to become the person that we want to be so desperately. But it isn't. It's not. It is a journey, an adventure every day. And oh my God, while saying that, I realize how much I love that to just speak to the camera without a script and without the purpose of any intention in mind to lead you to some whatever type of content. That's not what it is about. It's literally just my way to leave something for the future. I'm fascinated about that. You know what? Best case, let's do it. I always like to call myself out. Best case in 12 months from now onwards, this account still exists. It has hundreds of videos, just me documenting the process. There is Modern Founders, a community that I created for founders that just want to get rid of the feeling of random success. I wrote a book called, or I want to write a book called Build for More, because I strongly believe that everyone, including you, is built for more. I would love to create personal memories in my private life for people that are important for me, or with people that are important for me. And I would love if there is at least one person among, amongst every video that I do, where I feel like I changed someone else's life by sharing my perspective. Because again, it sounds so cool, right? I could say, hey, our software created $200 million per year in transactions turnover. And it's true. But first of all, it doesn't really matter. Second of all, I never planned that. It just happened. And I think there's a time right now where the world needs authenticity. And that's my way to contribute to it. I would be so proud about myself if I would see this video here 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because I would just think, man, he's talking in English very fluently. He's doing it online. Looks like he at least got a good setup. But funny enough, this is just a blanket. It looks fancy. It is a blanket. And I tell you, even more, like, it looks like the mic is active, but it isn't. Because I just got the studio and it's from an acoustic standpoint, like the sound is really, really bad. So I decided to do it with my AirPods. Nothing is the way it seems to be, but that's why I do it. I'm ready to be a role model for everyone out there to live and breathe authenticity to an extent that the world hasn't seen before. At least that's what I think in the way I do what I do. So let me say one more time. Hi, I'm Chris. I strongly believe that all of us, including you right now, are built for more. I think that once you decide to change the world, that there will always be a way to do that with small steps or big steps. And I want to find my way to do that. And this is why I started this account, this project, this raw channel that never ever, I state that, will have one animation in the video. It's just me talking, sharing. And I feel so good inside because I just do what I think is right. And I'm not depressed, don't get me wrong. I'm a very happy person. Not happy, but I'm content. But sometimes you need to listen to your heart to do something that sounds, or maybe like not sounds weird, but to do something that in that very moment makes no sense at all, except it just feels good. It sounds hedonistic, but it's not. It's just truly the way I think it feels right to do it. And I love to follow the feeling of this feels kind of right. And you should do the same. You should do the same. And maybe this is what you need to hear today, whenever you're going to hear it. I believe that everything you want is on the other side of what you are maybe not will to accept as a possible truth of your future. Because when I look back, most of the time, it was me holding myself back without even knowing it. Today, if I could travel back in time, Probably I wouldn't do many things different because at the moment when I did them, they felt right. But it's so crazy. At some points in my life, I thought I was grinding, working, being successful. But from today's standpoint, I wasn't. It was just a moment, the very moment that made me feel like, okay, I'm at a new level. And this new level back then, today, is so normal for me that it doesn't feel like there was huge progress. But that's the trap. It's your mind tricking you. Because again, it is all about the very moment. If you think right now that something is a challenge, then it is a challenge. Even though that maybe in the future, when you solved it, it's no challenge anymore. And let me tell you why I think that's important to share with you. Right now, a few seconds ago, I had the feeling of, okay, stop the video here because otherwise maybe it gets too boring. But if I would do that, I would give in to this little voice that just wants to do what it thinks it's the right thing to do in terms of doing content the right way, because there always needs to be a peak and entertainment and tension. But we want to be real. We want to be real. Now, I don't know where this leads me to in the future, but it feels amazing to do it. If I can change at least one life, then I think I did a lot of things the right way. Because as I said in the beginning, I made millions, I lost millions. Making money is not that difficult. Not really. People always think it is, but it's actually pretty easy. And I'm not showing off here. It's finding a skill, be early. For instance, right now with AI, have an idea of what the future is going to look like, and then find a way to apply that into a service that you can sell to others that are in the need to use this very service. And I would love to share that to you right now. There will never be a perfect moment. You probably heard that before. But there's the right timing. Maybe not the perfect moment, but the right timing. And the right timing is when you're so pissed off of yourself and what you did lately that you just think, no, now I'm going to change it. It's interesting, right? Because once we decide to change something, we are able to do it. Why is that? Because nothing really changed except something inside of you. So we can argue that everything is about the feeling. Everything is about the way we pursue reality. Well, pursue reality. Man, this channel is amazing. I feel like this is the right thing to do. This is the way I'm going to share what I believe is true. And this is the way I'm going to change the world. Everything else is true too. I am the person of my Instagram channel. I am the person of my YouTube channel. I'm not lying. I'm not faking. But sometimes it feels staged, which is normal, I guess, because the attention span of an individual these days is very small. So you have to do a lot to grab the moment of the intention of a very person to then leave an impression that makes the person think about you, even though the person does not see any content of you anymore, because you would like to stick in their head to create awareness. It's brand awareness at the end. And whatever you do right now, if you made it so far in the video, we're gonna make it. You, I, because the world keeps spinning. And this is what I love about life. There's always the next day. So make sure you're going to use your next day the right way, whatever that means in your life. And I will be here continuing what I did and what I just started. And it feels pretty amazing. See you in the next video.